Okay, you can see my sourdough starter. It was at 400 yesterday. Now it's doubled over in size, and that's when you want to bake sourdough, when it's risen to twice its height. Okay, and this is ready to bake now. Yesterday I fed it once before I went to bed, and when I woke up in the morning it was all flat, so it's risen down again because the yeast has eaten up all the fresh flour. So what I've done this morning is like was it about 9 o'clock, woke up, put some more flour in it, maybe about 3 tablespoons, gave it a stir, and a couple of hours, and it's doubled. Okay, so this is the best time for baking. Try not to leave it so it's flat and then start baking, okay? So that's a tip there. So what we do, you see how active that is? See all the bubbles? Look at that, that's a good starter. That is how you get all the air. Look at that, perfect. 150-year-old Oregon Trail starter. So we just pour some into our bowl. Should measure it. You see how consistently thick is that? I think about 150 grams maybe. Not sure if that is it, but that remaining can go in the fridge. And I showed you yesterday, you put that in here, or I can make maybe 2 or 3 jars of that, and then you just cover it with flour and store it in the fridge for later use. But yeah, I'm really happy with that. Look at that, beautiful starter. I think I might have mastered this starter. So anyway, let's put that away for now. So what we do, I think what I'm going to do is empty it into here, this bowl, so that I could store it for later use, because I need to measure the water using this bowl because I have a measuring. I have ordered a kitchen scale, a digital one, so that'd be very useful because when you're baking and that, you need like a quite a sensitive scale that can measure the grams and ounces. Okay, so we put that there, we empty it. So what we do, I mean, my recipe is about 400 milliliters of water, and we put warm water in. So about 400. I just go a bit under, just in case I need to like add more water. Put the lid back on, give it a shake. Not to waste that sourdough in there. That's all good, right? I think that looks about right, about 150 grams. Maybe it's a bit more, bit less, but we'll see. So add the water. Doing a different way this time than I used to. Add a pinch of salt, or how much you want. About a teaspoon of salt. And whisk it. It's a really nice day again here today. It's about 35 to 37. Hope it's not too cold where you are. And you know, the price of food has just gone up so much, isn't it? You know, I've been watching videos like in people like Australia, you know, England, and you know, you go to the shops of £100 and you get like a couple of items to feed yourself maybe 2-3 days, and that's it. So, you know, being the prepper as I am, if you buy like flour maybe cost you cheaper, right? A bag, you know, kilo of flour might cost you I don't know the price in England, but this one cost me like about £2 maybe, because it's quite not expensive here. You can get cheap flour, but bread flour is about what is it about? Yeah, 70 baht I think a kilo, if I can remember right. But anyway, if you bought flour in England and you know how to make sourdough yourself or bread, you know, it's a lot cheaper. So you have the skills as well, how to make stuff just in case the grid goes down, right? Or shit hits a fan, the supermarket's no longer running and there's no bread that you could bake, you know. And you know, I've been watching a lot of people in Palestine, you know, they have the war and everything, and it's so sad, you know, the situation there, but hopefully it's going to get better now. But you know, people, when they lost everything, what they do, they just, you know, look for food, and then they make do with what they got. I mean, a little bit of flour they got, they can make bread and stuff like that. But you know, if you don't know the skills of how to do it, then even if you find the flour, you won't know how to make bread, right? So it's very important that, you know, you learn these skills that, you know, you take for granted, because, you know, the supermarket's not always there, you know, especially during that COVID time, remember? Okay, so we get that spatula here, and we mix the flour in now. This is around maybe about 400 grams of flour. So pour that in, like so. Pour a little bit at a time, no need to rush. I think I just do about half, just over half, and just mix that in. I mean, sourdough bread is very good for you because you know, you've made its own natural yeast and it's very easy to digest in the gut. I mean, in the olden days, everything was sourdough. You know, you see all these breads and they've been bleached flour and they've been messed with, and you know, all that stuff. They add loads of preservative to it so it doesn't mold. And you can have a piece of bread sitting outside like for ages, right? And it doesn't mold. Or you think what goes into McDonald's hamburger, right? You should stop eating all that stuff because it's just full of preservative. And when you get older, you know, a lot of people finding they have cancer eating all that crap. Okay, so I got the consistency like that. So it's still a bit wet, so what we could do, add some more flour. We'll add it all. Believe me, when I started my journey making my first sourdough bread, it didn't come out and I failed so many times. But just keep going at it and look at many recipes. As you see, this one, you know, I'm not using a machine, it's just all manual gear, right? So you could bake this even with no electricity. You know, well, you have to have the oven, but you can make an oven, can't you? Like a charcoal oven. People bake with that. See, starting to stiffen up now. I mean, you don't have to get your hands messy and stuff. That looks a little bit dry. So what we do, we add just a little bit more water, not much. Okay, and you got to get it to like look a bit tacky but not too wet. If you get your dough too wet, then it's like it's really hard to work with, and I just don't like working with wet dough because it just sticks everywhere. Okay, but this is looking good now. This is looking good. This is looking good. Okay, I think it's this is what you need to get it looking like. Okay. Okay. See it there? Bit shaggy, but it's not like too wet and sticky. So once we got the dough like that, all we've got to do is cover it with a wet towel so it doesn't dry out, and then I mean, because it's about 35 degrees in the heat, it's ideal for making bread here. Yeah, it's not cold. So this, I'll give it maybe 1 hour or 1 hour and a half, and it should double its size. Okay, so I'll get back to you when that's done. Okay. Okay, so you see here, that's my sourdough starter that I had left. So I put it in the jar and I topped it up with flour, maybe about just under an inch. Okay, and this will be used for the next bake. So you could just store this in your fridge, okay, for a month and a half, and reactivate it when you want to use it. So you see some videos like they make it really complicated because they're baking, well, not complicated, because they're baking every day, they have to feed a starter. But if you're just like me, like a homesteader, and you just bake once or twice a month or whatever the case is, because you know you go on holiday and everything like what I did, and you know don't come back for a long time, you could just leave this in the fridge and it should be good. I mean, I've heard that people said this lasts up to 6 months, even to a year. Okay, so I'm not sure, but anyway, that's how you do it, and you just store it in the fridge until the next bake. Okay. Okay, so it's been resting for a couple of hours. I'll say maybe 2 to 3 hours. So the dough is risen up. Okay, so what we need to do is to give it a mix, like it's called stretch and fold, but you see it's coming away nicely. Yeah, it's still a bit sticky, but I prefer to use a spatula. People pick it up at this stage and do all their stretch and folds, but I find this works for me, and it's like a less hassle. You don't get the dough sticking everywhere. I'm still agitating the dough. Yeah, so it's still like a stretch and fold. Dough's looking pretty good, not too wet, because when it's really wet it's really hard to handle, and I'm not up to that level yet of handling really wet dough, but I find this works. This does work. So baking bread is all about patience, and probably what we do will, after we've done all our stretch and folds, I'll just shape it and then put it into like a greaseproof paper, baking paper, and then just shape it, put it on there, put it in the fridge, and we could bake it in the morning. So depends on you really, but I find, like, you know, it comes out okay if you just do a few stretch and folds. I mean, you don't have to be regimental like the other guys. They do like every half an hour and they do this technique, that technique. But hey, whatever works for them, right? You know, I'm not knocking it. I'm just a novice making this. But I just show you my way of doing it because I find it just less messy. Because you don't want to cleaning so much stuff up afterwards. But anyway, still about 37 here today. Bloody hot today, and it's winter time. But it's cool in the night time. You get the cool winds at night, so that's nice. But if it was summer, you still get the hot winds. So anyway, I'd rather be in a sunny climate than freeze in England. You can see the sun about, well, if you're lucky, about a month in the year, in the summer, if that lasts all long. But most of the time it's just grey and miserable, so depressing. But anyway, make plans for your dreams. Try to get out of the matrix if you can. You know, and have a plan. Downsize, save up. If you can save like £600 by downsizing a month, that soon adds up. Anyway, that's what it looks like. So I let it rest again before I shape it and put it in the fridge for baking. Yeah, okay, I'll see you soon. Bye bye. So I kneaded the bread yesterday just into 2 loaves, so I split the dough, and I cold proofed it overnight, which means that I put it in the refrigerator for overnight. Okay, and I took them out this morning, and it looked pretty good. But I'll get my wet knife and I'll score it. Okay, so give it a cut. So when it cooks, it got somewhere to expand the bread. That's why people do all the fancy designs, but I'm just going to make a plain score like so. Okay, and we'll get that in the air fryer. So a good tip is to have your bread placed in the baking paper like so, and then what I do, I don't have to shape it again, because I used to just take out and shape it again and mess about with it. But all you need to do is just pick it up with the baking paper and plop it straight into your air fryer. So easy. Okay, let's take it to bake. So prove to you that I am baking in an air fryer, because I don't have an oven. And okay, we set it on cake 20 minutes, and it's at 170 C, and that will cook for 20 minutes. So I'll get back to you when it's done on one side, and we flip it across and then do another 20 minutes. Okay, it's 20 minutes. Ooh, look at that, it's risen, guys. Okay, I'm gonna flip it and do another 20 minutes. Okay, that's risen, that's success. Okay guys, as you can see, they come out really good. Okay, really crispy, dense. Okay, this one even hit the top of the air fryer because it couldn't go up no more. Okay, lovely. Okay, let's cut into them and see what we have. Okay, let's go this way. Yeah, I can feel it. Look at that. Crispy. Okay. That come out really well. So all the air pockets there. Okay. Let's cut open the other one. It's just come out of the air fryer, yeah? So let's cut it, yeah, this way. Oh. Look at that. It's probably the best 2 loaves I made. I think why it turned out so good is because I didn't use too much starter. When you use too much starter, it's more dense. I think I used just about right. And what's in this is only water, flour, and salt. 3 ingredients. So it's very good for you. Easy to digest, sourdough bread. So now you see me making sourdough, I think you should give it a go. Okay, but yeah, I'm really happy with this when it turns out good. Look at that, perfect sourdough bread. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna cut it up and then have some for tea later on. And then what I do, I'll freeze it in the freezer, and when you want it, you could just take a few slices out, bung it in the air fryer for 3 minutes, and then you have like a crispy toast. That's my favorite. Serve with eggs or whatever you want. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'm really grateful that it turned out good. So don't forget, this sourdough starter I bought was from Sourdough, like a Thai website, and it's 150-year-old Oregon Trail apparently. Okay, hope you enjoyed the video. Have a good day, guys. Peace. Free.